Chapter 1. The Wish That Changed Everything. Shunpei Mori slumped against the back of his chair, staring blankly at the flickering screen of his computer. The clock on the wall ticked monotonously, the sound mingling with the incessant clacking of keyboards and the hum of the office air conditioning. Endless emails piled up like a mountain of unfulfilled dreams, each one representing a dull task that drained him further into the depths of monotony. He was 30 years old, yet he felt like he was caught in an eternal loop of soul-sucking paperwork. "Do you ever wonder what it's like out there?" he mused aloud, his voice breaking the sterile silence as he leaned over to his colleague, May, who was engrossed in her own work. She looked up, raising an eyebrow, but before she could answer, he continued, "You know, real adventure, power, something that gives you a purpose?" May chuckled, her eyes sparkling with a mix of amusement and sympathy. "Shunpei, you've been reading too many fantasy novels. You'll wake up one day and all you'll have is an office chair sore." He chuckled but felt a twinge of bitterness at her words. Wasn't that the truth? He wished with all his heart that he could escape this mundane existence, break free and spread his wings. The yearning for something more gnawed at him, filling him with a sense of loss for dreams he had yet to realize. As the droning buzz of late afternoon settled in, he muttered a thoughtless wish, "If only I could be a god of something. Anything. Just let me escape this miserable life." Little did he know, every wish longed for in earnest echoed through the universe, vibrating against the fabric of reality. The cosmos had its own plans for him. The next moment, everything changed. Shunpei felt a jolt as if he were being pulled through a shimmering vortex. Gravity lost its hold on him, the world around him spun into a colorful haze, and the screech of office chaos faded into oblivion. When the whirlwind of sensations finally calmed, he landed with an unceremonious thud in a soft, warm bed of straw. He blinked rapidly, adjusting to the bright sunlight filtering through the slats of a wooden coop. Confused, he rubbed the back of his head, thus noticing he had no memory of what just transpired. Where on earth? He sat up, surveying his unfamiliar surroundings. A gentle clucking pierced the air, and to his astonishment, a flock of chickens pecked at grain strewn across the ground. They looked up at him simultaneously, their beady eyes glistening with curiosity. Shunpei's first thought was to question his sanity. Had he lost it, or was this some elaborate prank? "Okay, Shunpei, pull yourself together," he whispered, trying to ground himself. "You're just dreaming. Any moment now, you'll wake up in your office." But deep down, something felt different, something felt real. As he swung his legs over the edge of the straw bed, he caught a glimpse of his reflection in a nearby puddle. His heart raced as he stared at the freckled face, the disheveled hair, and the scruffy beard. It was still him, yet there was a peculiar radiance surrounding him, a subtle glow that pulsed from within. Are you a friend?" The voice, surprisingly human, yet oddly harmonious, emerged from the entrance of the coop. Startled, Shunpei turned to see a tall, slender figure stepping gracefully into the enclosure. The robe she wore flowed elegantly, adorned with intricate patterns reminiscent of sunlight spilling over petals. Long, dark hair framed her sharp green eyes. Akari chuckled softly, her stern expression softening as she shook her head. "No mistake, Shunpei. The prophecy has been fulfilled. You wished for the extraordinary, and the cosmos has delivered." A mixture of disbelief and curiosity coursed through him. "So, I'm really a god? As in divine powers, wings, and all that?" "In spirit, yes. Your form superficially reflects your desires and personality. You embody what the chickens need, a protector, a leader," she exclaimed, excitement bubbling in her voice. Shunpei paused, taking it all in. "Okay, fine. What does that mean? What am I supposed to do? The Temple of Pex awaits your divine presence. There are challenges to face, especially with rival god Phallus looming in the shadows. He is the current deity of poultry, and he will not take kindly to your arrival." Shunpei let out a cynical laugh, rubbing the back of his neck. "So I actually have competition? Great, just what I need, the threat of a rooster god breathing down my neck." "Phallus is cunning and prideful, but fret not. With your wisdom and my guidance, we will rejuvenate the faith of our followers and solidify your place as their rightful god." Her confidence began to instill a sense of responsibility within him, responsibility he had never understood in his previous life. I I suppose if I have to deal with Phallus, I might as well learn the ropes of this god gig. Excellent. Akari smiled, the warmth of her approval melting away his initial resistance. Follow me to the Temple of Pex. There you will begin your training. He stepped over the threshold of the coop, taking in the sights of Cloverfield Farm, a picturesque rural space sprawled with rolling green fields, vibrant gardens, and harmonious clucking. Intricate murals decorated the coop's walls, telling stories of gods and chickens from ages past. He had always yearned for adventure, but this was unlike anything he had ever imagined. Wait, before we go, I have to ask, what's with the chickens? Shunpei motioned toward the flock crowding about him. What do they want with a god? The chickens are more than simple creatures. They are our guardians, our friends, and they need leadership and protection. They are faithful and wise in their own right, Akari explained, gesturing to the pecking flock. Your presence will challenge their loyalty to Phallus and reignite the fervor of their worship. A cocky rooster strutted forward, squawking authoritatively. I've heard enough of this nonsense. You think you can just waltz in here and become our god? We have loyalties. Shunpei raised an eyebrow at the audacity of the rooster. You do realize you're talking to a god now, right? I could. Enough, Akari intervened, her voice slicing through the tension like a knife. You would do well to remember that your faith will soon be tested. This is a pivotal moment. Stick together, or Phallus will exploit your division. The rooster shuffled back, contemplating her words. With renewed determination, Shunpei took a deep breath, stepping forward to address the flock. Look, if you're going to be loyal to a god, I'll do my best not to mess it up. I might not know much about being a deity, but if it means protecting you and leading you into a better future, I'm in. Tumultuous clucks erupted from the chickens in response, uncertainty still draping the atmosphere. Akari nodded approvingly. Let us go. Your journey begins at the Temple of Pex, where you will learn to harness your... Little did he know the trials ahead would not only challenge his newfound divinity, but also awaken the gifts hidden deep within his spirit gifts that would lead him to embrace his role as the chicken god, whether he was ready or not. And as the vibrant landscape of Cloverfield Farm unfolded before him, so did the first chapter of Shunpei's new life. A life filled with unusual companions, intense rivalries, and an adventure that would stretch beyond the realms of mortal understanding.